In his throne room, King Lear sits holding a map. Clustered around him are his daughters and other nobles.
I want to be able to enjoy the final years of my life without having to worry about ruling the state. Therefore, I'm passing the responsibility on to my daughters. Each one of you shall be given a third of the kingdom to govern. But first, I want each one of you to tell me how much you love me. As the oldest, you may speak first.
Sir, you're dearer to me than my very freedom. I love you more than anything on this earth. More than any child ever loved a father before. That's how much I love you.
Daughter, you've spoken well. In exchange, here's what I'm giving you. All this is yours, from this line to this one, to govern with your husband, the Duke of Albany. Now, my model daughter, what do you have to say?
Nothing else in the world makes me even the tiniest bit happy except your highness's precious love.
What am I going to say after all this?
To you and your husband, the Duke of Cornwall, this generous third of our fair kingdom now belongs. Now, last but not least, my youngest daughter and my joy. What do you have to say to me?
Nothing, my lord.
Nothing will become nothing. Speak again.
I'm sorry, sir, but I just can't force my heart into my mouth. I love you as I should, no more and no less.
Improve your speech a little, or you might destroy your forehead.
Good Lord, you have raised me and loved me, and I am grateful as I should be. I love and honor you as I should. My sisters say they love you more than anything. Why do they have husbands then? When I marry, I plan to give my husband half my love.
What are you saying to me?
I'm just telling the truth.
Then let truth be your dowry. I disown you.
Your Majesty,
Silence, Kent. Don't come between the dragon and his wrath. I love this one the most and hope to rely on her to care for me in my old age. You're my child no more. I divide your part of the kingdom between your two sisters.
He hastily redraws the lines on the map.
There, you two now rule over England. I give up my power, though I keep the names and trappings of a king. Each month, 100 of my knights and I shall journey to stay with one or the other of you, my daughters.
Your Highness, I have always loved you as father. I beg you to listen to me. Don't divide the country or disown your daughter.
Kent, if you value your life, shut your mouth.
I don't care about my life if I keep your safe.
Out of my sight, Kent.
I can only hope that in the future your sight will be better.
How dare you say such a thing? I give you 5 days to get out of my kingdom. On the 6th day, if you're still here, you will face death.
Kent leaves, looking stricken, and Lear turns to Cordelia Sutter, the king of France.
Great king, I respect you far too much to ask you to marry someone I hate. This girl is no longer suitable for your hands. She has no family and no dowry.
She is herself a dowry. I still wish to marry her.
Take her then and be gone. I don't want to ever see your face again.
I know what you are, though, as your sister, I am reluctant to name your faults. Please take care, father, for he is in your hands. I only wish he were a better place. Farewell.
A little later, Goneril and Regan talk privately.
Father intends to come stay with Arlene and meet tonight.
Yes, and next month he will come to stay with us in Cornwall.
You see how she's getting in his old age. It changes his mind every 5 minutes and makes bad decisions.
Even when he was younger, he never had any self-awareness.
He shouldn't have stumbled out on the king of France. No good can come of that.
Meanwhile, in the Earl of Gloucester's castle, Adamant, Gloucester's illegitimate younger son, is plotting a way to acquire his father's fortune. He holds a letter. He thus written.
Why should I be punished because of some stupid custom that says only older and legitimate sons inherit the estate? I am stronger and smarter than my brother Edgar, and I'm going to get his land. I have a plan.
Adamant's father, the Earl of Gloucester, enters the room.
What's been going on here, while I was gone?
Oh, nothing. Nothing at all.
What's that?
It's nothing.
Then let me see.
It's just a letter from my brother, but I don't think it's fit for your eyes.
Whatever do you mean? Just give me the letter, son. Why should we bow down to old men our whole lives and wait until we're old ourselves before we receive our inheritance? If our father were suddenly out of the picture, you will receive half of his income forever. Can this possibly mean what I think it means? Are you sure the handwriting is your brother's?
Looks like it to me.
Gloucester studies the letter.
It's him. Where's Edgar now?
I don't know, but don't jump to conclusions until you've had a chance to talk to him.
Gloucester wanders off, looking devastated. A moment later, Edgar enters the room.
What's up, Edmund? You look so serious.
I have serious things on my mind. Tell me, Edgar, when did you last see our father?
The night before last.
Did you quarrel then?
No.
You must have done something that offended him. I just saw him a few minutes ago and he was furious. I would stay out of his way if I were you. And in the meantime, if you have to come out, wear a sword. I think your life may be in danger.
In danger? Is he that angry?
Yes, I'll try to find him and calm him. Both my father and brother have proved remarkably easy to deceive. Honest people are always like that.
A few days later, in the Duke of Albany's house, Goneril speaks with their steward, Oswald.
Day and night, my father, behavior grates on my nerves. I can't stand it anymore. When he comes back from hunting, tell him I am sick and can't speak with him.
Here he comes now, Tom.
Give him any excuse, I'm going to go and write to my sister about how she's been getting.
Goneril hurries out of the room. As the king and his attendants enter through another door, Kent also enters, disguised as a peasant.
I intend to stick around and help the king, whether he wants me or not.
Bring my mic, then you're brush my teeth. Who are you?
I'm Caius, an honest fellow who wishes to be of service to you.
Okay, I can probably find some work for you to do. Where's my daughter?
My lady's not well, sir. She isn't coming down.
I'm sorry to say it, Your Highness, but lately your daughter and the Duke have not been giving you your proper respect.
Haven't they?
No, I don't think so.
Go and tell my daughter that I wish to see her.
I already told you, sir. She isn't coming down.
Do you know to whom you're speaking?
Yes, you're my lady's father.
I'm the king, sir.
Oh, now stop being hints.
Perhaps you would prefer to be tricked. The king has spoken. Now go.
Thanks for that. We shall be glad to have you for serving. Here comes my fool now. He'll put me in a better mood.
Sir, I wish I had 2 fool's caps and 2 daughters,
Why's that?
so that I can keep my fool's caps to myself and give my daughters everything.
You may be fooling around, but you better watch what you say.
Let me teach you a little rhyme.
Please do.
Have more than you show, speak less than you know, lend less than you owe, believe less than you hear, and you've nothing to fear.
What you just said means absolutely nothing, fool.
Then it's like advice from an unpaid lawyer. You gave me nothing for it. Can you make no use of nothing, uncle?
Why, no, boy. Nothing can be made out of nothing.
Please tell him how much the rent of his land comes to. He won't believe a fool.
Goneril appears at the door of the room, looking very perturbed.
There you are, daughter. Why are you wearing that crown?
So you're old and should act wise and dignified. Insist you kept this horrible for and 100 disorderly. Knights and squires closing my house. They about my service, say shameful things and cause my trouble. I insist that you dismiss half of your train immediately.
The knights of my train do not carouse. They're noble gentlemen. I'll not dismiss half of them. How dare you make such a demand? I won't stick around here to take such abuse. I have another daughter who knows how to treat her father. How should I present a servant's Tuesday to have a thankless child? Take this letter to the Earl of Gloucester. My daughter Regan is to be staying at this place tonight. Let her know that I will meet her there shortly. I feel as if I might be going crazy.
In the hallway of Gloucester's castle, Edmund spots his brother Edgar approaching. Edgar wears a sword, as he has been instructed to do.
Ah, good. Here comes Edgar. Dear brother, you must flee. Our father is coming for you. Is it true that you've spoken out against the Dukes of Cornwall and Albany?
No, why said nothing?
Oh, here comes father now. I must draw my sword on you, and you must draw too and pretend to defend yourself. Now, run.
Edgar looks confused, but draws his sword and then runs away.
You villain!
Edmund cuts himself in the arm just before Gloucester and the servants comes rushing up.
You're bleeding. What's going on?
It's just a scratch, sir. Edgar attacked me when he realized that he couldn't persuade me to murder your lordship.
The villain. Go after him and put out a warrant for his arrest. Thank goodness that I have one lawyer's son. You are my only child now, Edmund.
Just then, a trumpet sound announcing that Cromwell and Regan have arrived. Gloucester and Edmund go down to greet them.
We've just heard some disturbing news.
Is it true that your son Edgar sought to take your life?
Thank goodness that I have lawyer's son defended me.
It is good to know that you're so loyal and trustworthy. My wife and I will count on you to be a help to us in the future.
I will be honored to help you in any way I can.
We could use your advice now, actually. I've just received a letter from my sister. She is having some trouble with our father.
The next morning, Kent arrives at Gloucester's castle with messages. Oswald is also arriving to announce that Goneril will be there by nightfall. Oswald meets Kent in the road, but doesn't recognize him.
Good day. Where should I put my horse?
How about in the swamp over there?
How rude. Do you know who I am?
I know that you are not loyal to the king.
Oswald and Kent get into a scuffle in the street, and Kent eventually socks Oswald in the jaw.
Oh, murder!
Edmund and Regan come running.
Look, it's my sister, Stuart.
This ruffian insulted me and attacked me for absolutely no reason.
Let's put him into the stocks until he learns to behave better.
But I'm too old to learn. And I'm the king's messenger. I'm here with message from him.
Kent is forced into the stocks. Later that day, Lear arrives.
What is this? My messenger in the stocks? This is an outrage. Where's Regan?
I'm sorry, but they won't see her right now. They had a long journey and are tired.
Tired? This is nothing but an excuse. I want to see my daughter and her husband.
Yes, I informed them that's the case.
Inform them? Don't you understand me? I want to see my daughter and I want my messenger out of the stocks right now.
Gloucester sends a guard to free Kent and brings Cromwell and Regan into the room.
I am glad to see your highness.
Philip Regan, you won't believe what your sister's trying to do to me. She's demanded me to cut my train to 50 men.
Just then, Goneril bursts in. Regan rushes to greet her.
Hi.
Hi? Regan, why are you taking the viper by the hand?
Where should she take my hand? I'm not doing anything wrong.
Father, you are old and weak, and you need to learn to act that way. If my sister asks you to dismiss half of your train, you had better do so. Then go back home with her for the rest of the month and behave yourself.
No, my 100 knights and I will stay here with you, Regan.
I can't entertain you and 100 of your followers here. Besides, I agree with my sister. I don't see why you need a train of 100 knights. I don't even see why you need 50.
After all servants can look after all of your needs.
Yes, when you come to my place next month, I insist that you bring no more than 25 men with you,
So wait, do you even need 25, 9, or 10, or 5?
or even one.
Don't talk about needs. The poorest beggar has more than he really needs. Take away all the clothes and coverings off of men, and what have you got? He becomes nothing better than an animal. Look at yourself, daughters. You don't need your beautiful clothes. They certainly don't keep you warm.
Lear looks as if he's about to cry, but he holds back his tears.
No, I'll not cry. I'll have my revenge. I'll do terrible things. What those things are, I don't know yet. But you can bet they'll be terrible. My heart is breaking. I think I'm losing my mind.
Lear turns and slumps out of the castle. The fool follows him. Through the open door, thunder can be heard in the distance.
Sounds like there's going to be a storm.
It's already starting to rain. We need to go after the king and bring him back. There's no shelter for miles around.
No, let's let him go.
He of the be his teacher.
I forbid you to go after him, and let's lock the door so that his followers can't break in.
Let's close the windows too. It's a warm night.
Lightning flashes across the sky. Rain pours down. Out in an open field, Kent, still disguised as a Caius, comes upon one of the knights from Lear's train.
Sir, where's the king?
I'm looking for him.
I know you to be trustworthy, and so I'm going to share important information with you. It's likely there will be a war between two sisters. Both have set their sight on all of England. Cordelia and her husband heard this news and have peacekeeping force at Dover.
That's big news.
I need you to do me a favor. Go to Dover, find Cordelia, and tell her what's happened to her father. Show her my ring and she'll know who sent you. I am not who I appear to be.
Kent gives the knight his ring, and the knights rise up. Meanwhile, back at the house, Gloucester speaks with Adamant. He is upset about what has just happened.
They forbid me to go after the king on a night like this. How heartless. I think they will get soon as they're due, though. I received the letter informing that there is a war between Albany and Cornwall. I've locked this letter in my chamber. If there is armed conflict, of course we take a king's side. I'm going out into the storm to find him. You go distract the others so that they don't notice I've gone.
I must go at once and report my father's actions to the Duke. This is a good chance to win the Duke of Cornwall's favor. And once my father's out of the way, I'll be Duke of Gloucester.
Kent has managed to find King Lear and the fool. The three struggle against the wind and rain.
Regan, Goneril, how could you throw your father out of on such a night?
There's an abandoned shed. Let's go win out of this door.
Lear, the fool, and Kent enter the dilapidated shack.
How did the poor and homeless survive on such a night? Alas, I paid far too little attention to this.
Look, there's somebody here with us.
The three suddenly realize that they are sharing their shelter with a poor vagrant dressed in rags. This vagrant is actually Edgar, who has disguised himself and is pretending to be a crazy beggar. He waves his hands widely as if to shoo away monsters or devils that are lurking around him.
Away, away, you foul beasts!
Nothing but the unkindness of daughters would have brought this villa to such a low point?
This cold night would turn us all to fools and madmen.
This man know more than this. Take all the clothes titles off a man, and what have you got? An animal without even fur or feathers for warmth and protection. Very well. If that's what I really am, off with these bird coverings.
Half delirious, Lear removes his crown and begins to strip off his soft clothing. Gloucester looks for the king in the stormy night. By the time he returns home, Regan and Cornwall are convinced he is their enemy.
Ah! The traitor has returned.
Bind his arm.
Your Graces, what do you mean by this? You're my guest.
Make the knots tighter. Traitor, your son told us that you are in league with the King of France, and you've been helping Lear.
King of France is neutral party. He wants peace.
Why did you help the old man?
Because I don't want to see your cruel name plucked out of his old eyes. And I don't want to see your sister's fangs sink into his flesh.
I'll make sure that you have to see the sea.
While servants hold Gloucester down, Cornwall crosses his eye out.
Now I'll make both sides see this.
Don't, my lord. Please don't hurt him anymore.
How dare you speak to me in such a way?
Cornwall draws his sword and rushes to kill the servant, who draws his own sword and fights back. The servant wounds Cornwall, and Cornwall kills the servant.
Now, where was I?
Cornwall rips Gloucester's one remaining eye out with his hand.
Oh, where is thy luster now?
Let's throw the blind old fool out into the night.
Edgar finds Gloucester stumbling through the countryside, his clothing ripped and his face bloody. He helps his father as best as he can, preventing him from committing suicide by jumping off of a cliff. Meanwhile, Kent and Lear make their way to Dover. Lear, raving mad by now, has covered himself with weeds.
They told me I was everything. It was all a lie. I'm not even immune to the cold. Well, look here. Here's a little mousey. See how this such a quakes in the fear of my majesty.
Eventually, a search party sent up by Cordelia discovers the ailing ear and his companions. Lear is rushed to Dover, where a French doctor tends him.
How's my father?
His mind has been equally affected by the strains of this past few days. He's resting now. Perhaps he'll be better when he awakes.
Was this a face to send out against the storm? Couldn't these gray hairs inspire any pity in my sisters?
Lear's eyes flutter open.
My lord, how are you?
I must be dead because you're surely an angel.
Don't you know who I am?
I think you might be. Is it possible that you are my child Cordelia?
I am.
Oh, Cordelia. I've treated you terribly. Give me some poison to drink before you know that you cannot love me. Your sisters did me wrong when they had no cause. You have cause.
No cause, no cause.
Goneril's husband, Albany, is shocked when he learns that what's being done to Lear and Gloucester. However, he agrees to participate with Regan and Cornwall in a united military action against the French. What Albany doesn't know is that while Goneril was visiting Gloucester's castle, she secretly began a romance with Adamant.
My husband disapproves of how we handled Gloucester and my father. What an alien he is, but we'll get rid of him as soon as the opportunity presents itself. Then you can be my husband, Edmund.
That'll be wonderful, my dear. I can't wait for the day.
Meanwhile, Regan's husband, Cornel, has died from his wound. Regan decides that she wants to marry Edmund also.
Edmund, I ask you to take command of my armies. I hope that soon you will also take command of my heart.
That'll be wonderful. Let's make a plan.
The battle between the French and English forces rages for days, but in the end, Cordelia's army loses. Soldiers under Edmund's command take Lear and Cordelia captive.
Are they taking us to see our sisters and daughters now?
Let's just not go see them. Let's go to prison instead. We'll be happy there, you and I, together. When you ask me to bless you, I'll kneel down and ask you for forgiveness. And we can pray and sing and we'll tell tales and laugh at what goes on in court and live the rest of our lives out that way.
Edmund reports the capture of Lear and Cordelia to the Duke of Albany.
They are safely under lock and key now, brother.
Pardon me, but I see you as my subordinate, sir, not my brother.
He'll soon be your brother when he marries me.
You think he'll marry you? You got another thing coming.
Oh dear, all of a sudden I feel sick.
Regan rushes up to her tent, clutching her stomach, just as Edgar rides into camp. He is no longer disguised as a beggar, but now wears a mask over his face.
If somebody goes here by the name of Edmund, Earl of Gloucester, I wish to challenge him to a duel.
I am the Earl of Gloucester.
Traitor, you're not the rightful Earl. You conspired against the innocent life of your brother and father. You also conspired against the Duke of Albany. Now prepare to get yourself just desserts.
Edmund and Edgar fight, and Edgar deals Edmund a deadly blow. Seeing Edmund lying in the pool of blood, Goneril screams and runs from the scene.
What you have charged me with, I have done. All that and more. Reveal yourself.
Edgar removes his mask.
My brother?
Sir, we thought you had fled the continent. Where have you hidden yourself?
Edgar tells the story of how he has spent the last few weeks. He describes trying to help Gloucester and watching him finally die.
His father is at peace now, but he died 1,000 deaths before the final one.
Hearing your story, I am filled with remorse.
Just then, a servant comes running up, carrying a bloody knife.
Help! Help!
What's this?
This knife came from the heart of Goneril, sir. She confessed to poisoning her sister, then she stabbed herself.
I have promised myself to both of them. Soon all three of us will be married in death.
In the midst of his confusion, Kent rides up.
I am looking for my master. Isn't he here? Where is he?
Before I die, I wish to do one good deed despite my own nature. Edgar, run to the prison. Take my sword and show it to the guards. Save Lear and Cordelia, for they are about to be executed. Laurel and I signed their death warrant. Hurry now, run.
Edgar sprints toward the castle as Edmund collapses back, gasping his last breath. A little later, Edgar reappears, leading King Lear, who carries the dead body of Cordelia. Lear holds a feather up to her lips.
I think the feather just moved. Oh, let her be alive. That'll make up for everything.
Oh my good master,
Kent, is that you, Lucius?
we are one and the same. I have been with you all along.
I see. Look, my darling girl has been hanged.
Lear holds up the feather to Cordelia's mouth again. It doesn't move. He stops in despair.
There's no life in her. Why should a dog, a horse, or rat have life while she has none at all? She'll never live again. Never, never, never.
Out of a sudden, he imagines he sees the feather stirring.
Look at her lips. Look through her.
Lear collapses to the ground.
Get a doctor!
Oh, let him go. He endured the torture of this world so long.
Edgar checks Lear for a pulse.
He is gone indeed.
It's wonder that he ever endured so long.
Bear all the bodies out of here. This is a time of mourn. Friends used to show rule the realm and try to hold our bloody state together.
I have journey on which I must go. My master calls me to join him, and I cannot say no.
In the weight of this sad time, we must obey, saying what we feel, what we ought to say. The old has endured the most. We that are young shall never see so much or live so long.